Hello and welcome to the SMO online catalog training. Now that you have your website, the first thing you're going to want to do is set your password. To do so, go to the footer of the website that you've just been provided, and you'll see Dealer Login. Click on Dealer Login. From here, you're going to want to click on Forgot Password to set your password for the first time. Once you're there, put in your email, and then click on Continue. You will now receive an email to reset your password. Here is the email I've received now to reset my password. Once you receive this email, just click on the Reset Your Password button. From there, I'm going to re-enter my email and then enter in the password for my account. And then I will confirm the password, and then I'll click Set Password. Then click here to go back to the login page. From the login page, enter in the email and password that you just set up. Once you get your first login initiated, you'll be required to set up a two-factor authentication app. You can use many different apps. Microsoft Authenticator, Google Authenticator, or Duo Authenticator are some that we suggest. From here, I'm going to click Add Authenticator App. Now, you will see the instructions to set up your two-factor authentication. As I had previously said, you will want to make sure that you have one of these apps installed so that you're able to set up your two-factor authentication for the website. Then, once you have the app installed, you're going to want to add a new account through the app and then scan the QR code. Once you scan the QR code, it should provide you a code to enter, and you will enter that into the code box here. Click Verify, and then make sure to copy your recovery codes into a safe place in case you ever get locked out. Now, you are inside of the new admin. Now that you have admin access, we will go through the overview. Starting from here, the first report that you will see will be your revenue report. This will give you important information like the total value of your sales, your monthly sales average, and your daily sales average. These will all be based off of the last year of sales. Scrolling down, you will then see the total orders report, which will give you an idea of your total orders over the past year, how many units you have sold, your revenue, percent of orders discounted, and average order value. Moving down from there, you will see your recent orders, and it will give you an update on all of your recent orders that you have taken through the website. Quotes pending. If you have set up quotes on your website, you will see a quotes pending report that will populate with any pending quotes on your site. Quotes completed report will give you a report over how many quotes you have completed that have turned into orders on your website. You will see the total value of the quotes, the monthly quotes average, and the daily quotes average. We are now going to go through the process of when you get your first order on the online catalog website. You should receive an email that looks like this when you get a new order. On this email will be the order number, the date it was ordered, the order status, a button to view order details, the details of the order, including the user's name, their address, if it was a residential address, the shipping method they chose, the payment method they chose, if they filled it out, how they heard about you, the products they ordered, and the order summary. Click View Order Details so you can then go and see the order within the Rock admin. Once you click View Order Details, you'll be taken to the order in the admin. From here, you'll see a lot of information about the order that was placed on your website. At the top, you'll see the order date, the status of the order, the site, the IP address that the order was placed from, the channel. In this case, your channel will almost always be rock. If the order is locked or not, in this case, since this is a new order, it is not. If there was a terms and conditions, then they would give consent to it. If you do not have terms and conditions available, it will just say not available. How they heard about you, if they chose to fill that out. The organization information, if the user is assigned to any kind of organization. And then over here on the right, you'll have your order summary, the ability to adjust the subtotal, the ability to adjust the shipping, the tax, and then you can see the total and the profit amount. Some of the features of the order are to cancel the order, clone the order, which means that you would be duplicating this order, creating credit memos. This would allow you to credit the user, and resending a confirmation email. We also have who the user that placed the order was, in case they are a user that is registered on your website, the last time they ordered, the number of orders they've placed, and their average order. You also have this information about their billing address that they had on the order, payment information, delivery information, including their name and address and phone number, the delivery method they chose, and if they selected any delivery services. In this section here, you'll see the product, and that will include a little bit of information about the product, the status, the quantity, the price, the cost, the merchant subtotal, the line total, and the total overall. If you click on the product here, you will be linked out to the product on your website, and you will be able to view it. If you click on the brand here, you'll be able to see the brand information. You also have the capability to add notes to the order, which I will go over in a moment. Before we move on, I just want to move quickly into the brand section. So I'm going to click on the brand on this product. This is going to take me to the brand. Here you'll see information about the product's brand and how you will be able to place the order on behalf of that user for that product. Here we'll see information about the brand's name, their address, the city, country, state, and zip, the phone numbers associated to that brand, the shipping point that the orders are all coming out from for that brand, the discount on the catalog, general email, quote email, order email, their site. You will also be able to see any kind of SEO information related to them, assets associated to the brand, any information about orders, any people assigned to the brand, and also if there's any security applied to that brand on your site. From here, you will be able to then complete the order. So the first thing you will want to see is to make sure that the price of the product is correct, and if you need any subtotal adjustments. Then, once you have the shipping amount, you'll be able to add that in. And then if there's any tax amounts that need to be applied to this order, you will also be able to add that in. Once you do this, make sure to hit save. Once you've saved this information, I suggest you resend a confirmation email to the user so they can see the updated amounts. Now that you've adjusted the order and it's finalized, the next step would be to add in the fulfillment. Going to the fulfillment step, you'll see we have a section here for shipments and notes. I'm going to add my first shipment for this order. From here, you will have the ability to enter in the quantity in the shipment and add shipment tracking. Our options currently are UPS, LTL, and FedEx. If you enter a UPS or FedEx number, these will send a trackable link to the user. Make sure to click Save once you're done entering in the tracking number. This button here will let you send a shipment confirmation. This will then go to the user and let them know that their order has been shipped. Once everything looks good, click Save Shipment. Please be aware, if this order was placed with a credit card and the credit card is connected to authorized.net or PayPal, then this will then initiate the charge against the customer. You will see those charges in the payment logs. In this case, this was placed with call for credit card, so I would have to call the customer to get their credit card information. I did not take their credit card through the website. The notes section here allows you to send any kind of notes you want or create internal notes. I'm going to add my first note here. You have multiple different note types: cancellation, shipment, credit memo, invoice, order note, quote ready, or quote note. Quote ready and quote note should be reserved just for quotes. The ones above here can be used to send to the user. In this case, I would suggest sending an order note if you had a note for the order. Make sure, if you want the customer to see it, that you click Display to Customer and send this note via email. If you do not want to display to customer and you want this to be an internal note, then do not click either of these buttons. From here, you will see the All Credit Memos. When creating a credit memo, you hit the Create Credit Memo button here. This allows you then to create a credit to the user. I'm going to put 1 in the quantity box so I can create a credit for this product. I'm going to select credit. And then if you want to do a credit based off of a percentage amount, you can use this is percentage based, or you can just do an amount here. Clicking Display to Customer will then show the credit to the customer, and Send via email will also show it to the customer. Once you've done that, you can click Save. You also have the option to cancel an order if it comes in. To cancel an order, you just go over to the Cancel Order button and click there. Make sure to confirm by clicking OK. Once this order has been canceled, it can no longer be modified, and it becomes locked. If you receive a quote request, you should see an email that looks like this. It will give you a notification that a customer has requested a quote and the shopping cart reference code associated to their quote. You will also see information they entered during the quoting process, including their name, their address, the shipping method they chose, and the products. To go start the quoting process, go and click View Cart. Once you've clicked View Cart, you'll be taken to the quote page. Here you'll see information about the quote, including the day it was created, the last time it was modified, the site it was placed on, which should be your site, the IP address, the channel, if the quote is locked or not, if they've given consent by the terms and conditions and checkout, and how they heard about you. You will also see in the top right here the quote summary, which includes the subtotal if there was any shipping during the quoting, and the total amount. You will also see their member account, the last time they ordered, the number of orders they've placed, and their average order. If you scroll down further, you'll see the billing information, which is not yet provided, which is very common for quotes, the shipping details, which will include the user's name, address, and phone number, and if they have a residential address or not, the delivery method they chose, and if they had any delivery services. You'll see the products, which will then, as with the orders, if I click this, will take me to the product on my website, and if I click the brand, will take me to the brand's details. You also have the same option to add notes, just like you do on the ordering process. To get this quote moving, you will want to utilize the Impersonate button here. This will then let you see the quote and then adjust it. Once you've clicked the Impersonation button, you're going to be taken to the cart page. From here, you'll be able to see the items that they had in their quote, the item price, cost and profit, quantity, and the total for that line. You can also then enter in estimated shipping amounts and estimated tax. I'm going to do that now. Make sure to click Update after you enter each one of these so that it applies. You also have the opportunity here to then enter in a discount. I'm going to do a 5% discount for this quote. Make sure to hit the Apply button once you've done so. Once I believe the quote is ready, I will be able to hit Quote Ready. Once you hit Quote Ready, you'll be able to add a note. Click Save and Submit after you added your note. Now that this is done, the user will receive an email that their quote is ready. All you need to do is just log out of the user's impersonation session and you're good to go. Manufacturer by SKU has now been renamed to Brand by SKU. To get to the Brand by SKU page, go to the Commerce tab on the left-hand rail and click Brand by SKU. Here you will see the ability to have a SKU search. You can enter in any SKU and it will bring up results. I'm going to click this one so I can see the contents of this SKU. Here you will see an image of the product's name, its unique part number, the page number it appears on, and the discount percentage. You will also see information about the brand, their website, their general email, their order email, their quote email, their address, their phone, their fax, and their toll-free number. You will also see the shipping point they ship out from. Below that, you'll see the pricing. You'll see the SMO catalog selling price, your selling price, your cost, the brand discount from SMO catalog selling price, a sale price if one is applied to this product, and the actual profit. Once you're done viewing this item, you can click the X button there and then go view another one. You can modify pricing on your website by utilizing pricing rules. To create a pricing rule, first go to Commerce and then go to Pricing Rules. From here, click the Create button. Now you'll see the pricing rule. First, you'll want to name your pricing rule. Then you'll want to look at the rule type. There are 3 rule types: discount, markup, and base markup. Markup will be a markup on the cost of the product, while base markup will be a markup on the base price of the product. From here, you can enter in your markup percentage. This box will be utilized for global markups, so that would be applied to all products. You can also specify a certain product, category, or brand by using the type box over here. When you click on it and then enter in a category, you can then do a specific markup percentage just for that category. For now, we're just going to create a global markup. Next, make sure to click on Segments. From here, you'll want to click on this box, and then you'll want to make sure that Tenant Users is in your segment. Click on Tenant Users, and then click on Publish. You have now created a pricing rule. To test the pricing rule, first, I'm going to deactivate it. So I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to set it as inactive. This will remove the pricing rule. Now that I've inactivated it, the pricing should be standard on my site. To make sure the pricing is standard, I'm going to click on the Live Site button here in the top right-hand corner. From here, I'm going to find a product to check its pricing. Now that I found the product, I can see the pricing, and it looks like it is standard pricing. Now, to test the pricing rule, I'm going to go back to the admin, and I'm going to publish this pricing rule. Now I'm going to go back to that product, and I'm going to refresh the screen. You can now see that the 10% discount has been applied to this product. I'm going to add this one to cart. I'm also going to go find another product to make sure it's working there as well. I can see that the 10% is also working on this product. I'm going to add this one to cart as well. Now that I have two products in my cart, I'm going to view the cart and check to make sure that I see the 10% discount in cart as well. Now that I see that both of these products have the 10% discount because of the pricing rule, I can confirm that this pricing rule is working and all users on my website should be able to utilize this pricing rule now. To create promotion codes for your users, first you'll want to go into the commerce section and then go down to promotions. From here, to create a promotion, click the create button. Now, enter a coupon code. Enter in the promotion name, and then choose the coupon type. You can either do percentage, amount, or shipping. For this example, I'm going to do percentage. The coupon value determines the percentage off that you're providing. I'm going to do 10%. You can then choose list price or sales price, which will determine if the promo is calculated based off the list price of the product or the sales price of the product. For this example, I'm going to utilize the list price. The currency should always be USD. The can be combined filter can be used to determine if the promo can be combined with another promotion or if this promotion is standalone and can only be used on its own. The message displayed here shows what will get shown to the user once they've entered the promotion. Next, we'll look at the requirements section. Here, you can determine the minimum purchase that must be made before the promotion can be used, the maximum amount of global uses, which is how many times it can be used across all users, and the maximum uses per user, which determines how many times an individual user can use the promotion. The next section, include and exclude, will determine if there's any requirements for the promotion. So if you want to specify a specific product that this promotion is valid for, you can do that by finding the product. Or if you want to choose a specific category that this promotion applies for, you can go then and find the category that you want this promotion to apply for. The final section is the date section, which will determine the start date of the promotion and the end date of the promotion. Once you're done creating your promotion, click Publish. Using this promo code, I should now be able to create a 10% off promotion. To test this, I'm going to click the Live Site button here in the right-hand corner. From here, I'm going to go find a product. I'm going to add this product to cart. I'm also going to add a second product to my cart. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to add this product to my cart as well. Now that I'm done adding products to my cart, I'm going to click View Cart. Now from the cart page, I'll scroll down and I see this Have a Promo Code link. I'm going to click it and reveal the promo code box. From here, I'm going to enter in the promo code I created. I'm going to click Apply. I can now see that the promo has been applied and I'm receiving the correct discount. Now that I have the correct discount set up, I can go through checkout and finish my order. There are 4 primary emails that you will receive on your catalog site. I will now go through each of those emails and how to adjust who receives those emails. To start, click on System and then click on Settings. The first one we'll go through is on the cart. If I scroll down, I will see Quote request email. This is the email that receives any kind of quote request going through the website. The email quote request to email will be the primary receiver of the quote request emails. You can also CC as many other emails on this quote request email as you'd like. Once you're done, don't forget to hit save in the top right-hand corner to save the changes. The second email is the catalog request form email. From here, you will have the primary email receiver, the catalog request form alert to email, as well as a CC option to CC anybody else on that email as well. As I said before, don't forget to hit save. The third email is the contact forms email. From here, you'll see the contact form alert to email, which is the primary receiver of any kind of contact us submissions, as well as a CC option where you can CC as many other emails as you'd like. Don't forget to hit save. And then the final email is under orders. And if I scroll down, you'll see admin order confirmation email. And then there will be the option to add in a list of emails that receive all order confirmations. From here, you could then add in multiple additional emails to receive the order notifications that an order has been submitted and that the order is ready to begin processing. As one final reminder, don't forget to hit save so your changes are applied. To update the header and the footer of your website, you'll want to go first under System, Multi-Site, and then Sites. From there, click the site name or click the edit icon. Now here, you'll see my primary color of the site, my secondary color of the site, and my site logo. I'm going to first adjust the primary color, and then I'm going to adjust the secondary color. Now I'm going to change my site logo. To do this, I'm going to click Change Site Logo, and then I'm going to click Upload New Asset. I'm going to click here to upload, and then I'm going to upload a new logo. Then click Upload Site Logo, and then click Set Site Logo. You can also set a site logo link as well if you want the logo to link out to somewhere when they click it. You also have the option to set a secondary site logo, which would appear in the footer and on the cart page and checkout. And then you can set an email logo as well, which will appear in all your emails. Then, after I'm done with all my adjustments, I click Publish up in the right-hand corner to apply these changes. Now, if you also want to adjust the email and the phone numbers that appear in the header and footer, first go to System and then Settings, and then click on Footer. And then you can adjust the address. I'm going to put in a test address now. You can adjust the city. You can adjust the state, the zip code, the country, and then you can add in any phone numbers that you'd want. And then at the very bottom, you can adjust the email. Once you're done, click Save. Now that these adjustments have been made, to view them on the front end, I just click on this Live Site button in the top right-hand corner. Now you can see all the adjustments I've made, and you can also see the address adjustment in the footer that I've made as well. Let's talk about setting up your Google Analytics account. To set up your Google Analytics account, the first step is to go into System, and then you'll want to go into Settings, and then you'll want to go into Google. From here, you'll see the Google settings. To enable Google Analytics, my first suggestion would be to first click Is Enhanced E-commerce enabled? This will allow you to track more events and keep track of orders as well in your Google Analytics account. Then from there, click Enable Google Analytics. The last thing you'll need is your Google Analytics tracking ID. To find your Google Analytics tracking ID, go to your Google Analytics account, click on Admin, and then click on Data Streams. From there, you can click on the data stream, and you'll find this measurement ID over on the right-hand side of the page. Click Copy. Once you've copied that to your clipboard, go back to the admin and then paste in the Google Analytics tracking ID. Once you've completed all of these steps, don't forget to hit Save in the top right-hand corner. If you want to grant other people access to your admin, you can do this by creating admin users. To create an admin user, first go to System, then click on Admin, and then click on Admin Users. Here you'll see your current admin users. To add an admin user, click the Create button. From there, enter in their email, confirm their email, enter in their first name, enter in their last name, and enter in their phone number. Then from there, click on the Roles tab, and here you will see Tenants. Click on the Tenants box, and you'll see your tenant, and then click on it. From there, hit the Edit icon, and you will see the available roles. Click on the role you want to assign to the admin user, and then scroll down to the bottom. From there, click Save at the bottom, and then once you're finished, click Publish in the top right-hand corner. Now that they've been created, they should receive an email to set up their account, and they should be able to log into the admin and start using it. To control what products display on your website, there is a few different areas that you can go to. The first section is under Commerce, and then Products. Here you will see an Include on Site toggle on certain products that it gives you the capability to display them to users. If I turn one of these off, this product will no longer display to the users. You can also do this under Categories. If you go to the Categories section, you'll see an Include on Site toggle. If this is toggled off, this will hide all the products in that category from your users. The final place that you can hide products from customers is by clicking Brands. Here we have that same Include on Site toggle, and if you click it, this will hide that brand from those users. Please remember that these changes do take a little while to propagate, so you may not see the changes right away, but they should eventually hide those products from those users. Now that I've given the website a chance to adjust and make the changes that I've applied, I'm going to check to make sure that the changes are working. To do this, I'm going to click the Live Site button here. The first thing I'm going to do is look for the product that I hid. The product was Kennedy Series Workbench Accessories. As you can see, I don't see any search results when I look for this. Also, if I execute the search, I can still see the Kennedy Series Workbenches, but I don't see the Kennedy Series Workbench Accessories product. The next change that I made was to hide the accessories category under Casters. To do that, I'm going to click on Products and then go to Casters and see if I can find the accessories category. I don't see the accessories category anywhere, so we are good there as well. The final change I made was to hide the New Rubber Technologies brand. Now, looking under brands, I don't see the New Rubber Technologies when I go down to where the N brand names start. I do see New Age Industrial, but I did not hide that brand. So we have confirmed that all of the changes that I have made have worked, and users are no longer seeing anything that I have hidden from them on the website. To create your own category, first go to Commerce and then click on Categories. From here, you can see all of the categories that your site already has. And then to create one, click Create. From there, just enter in the category name, Make sure that you have display and rec category tree selected. You can enter in a description of the category. You can enter in a secondary description, an external ID for the category to make it easier to identify utilizing the product import tool. External system and content template can be skipped as those are usually consistent on the site. Exclude from search results should never be turned on because that would eliminate this category from being found in search. And text classification here can be used if you do have the Avalara integration set up and you want to have set certain text classifications for the categories. From there, you can choose a category asset. The thumbnail controls what is seen from the category listing page. The main image is displayed as the banner on the category page. And the marketing images is used for the marketing pages when you display the category. You can also choose the hierarchy, which controls if there is a parent assigned to this category that you want to have, or if there's any children to this category that you want to display as well. The SEO tab controls all the SEO of the category. We suggest that you fill these out. The first section is the URL. The next one is the page title. The H1 controls the H1 displayed on the page. And the meta description controls your SEO meta description. No index, no follow, and skip sitemap control if Google is able to find these pages. I would suggest that you leave these always off so Google can always index all of your pages. The final section is the security section, which can be used to control what users can see this category if you want to specify it for certain user segments. Here you can see a few different user segments that I have on my website, and I can select one of these segments and then grant access or deny access to this category. Once you've finished making your changes, hit publish in the right-hand corner. To test that a category you created is working, first you'll want to make sure that you have assigned one of your custom created products to the category. Once you've confirmed that you have a product assigned to that category, click on the Live Site button in the top right-hand corner. From here, if you click on Products, you should see the category that you created as a menu item. Once I see this, I'm going to click on it, and I can see that the category is working with the test content that I put in there, as well as the example product that I assigned. I can also click on the categories link over here, and then I can check to make sure that that category is also included in the category page. From there, you should be able to confirm that the category that you created is working and that there should be no other needed changes. To add a brand to your website, click on Commerce and then click on Brands. From here, click on the Create button. You can give your brand a name using this field. You can enter in an address if you'd like to provide one. Enter in a state, city, and zip code. You can enter in a phone, toll-free, and fax for the brand if they have one. You can enter in the shipping point. This would be where the brand ships their products from. You can enter in any notes for the brand. A general email is required for this brand. Quote email and order email can also be provided if you would like to show where the order and quotes are emailed to. You have your site URL, and please make sure that this is full So it should include https:// as well as the full site URL. An external ID if you want to make imports easier for your brand. External system can be left empty, as well as the content template. And you can put in a brand description if you like. Hide and brand landing page will hide this brand from your brand listing page on the site. And so only toggle this on if you want to make it harder for people to find this brand. Then from there, under the SEO tab, you can enter in your page title, H1, and meta description to improve the SEO of the page. Your assets, you can select your brand logo, which will show on the website, as well as a marketing image that will show on your marketing pages and content pages. And then the commerce tab, once this brand has started receiving orders, will show any orders associated to the brand and how the brand is doing in terms of order volume. The people tab can be utilized in case you want to keep track of any sales reps or customer service reps on the brand. And the security segment can be used so that you can control who is able to see this brand and assigning certain segments or organizations to the brand so they can either see them or not see them. Once you're done, click the Publish button in the top right-hand corner. And now you've successfully created a brand. To test that a brand that you've created is working, what you'll want to do is click on the live side arrow in the top right-hand corner. From here, you'll want to click on Manufacturers, and then you'll want to scroll down and find your brand. Once you've found your brand, click on the brand. Here, you'll see products that you've assigned to your brand, as well as the brand logo and any other text that you've added to the brand. From there, you can confirm that the brand that you created is working and that no further modifications are required. To update your homepage, you'll want to go to CMS and then go to Content Pages. From here, you'll see your homepage. Click on Homepage or click the Edit icon to edit the homepage. From here, the first section that you'll see is the hero banner. To edit your hero banners, click the gear icon over here. Here you'll see the banners that you're able to modify, remove, or you can click Change Banners. For this example, I'm going to first create a new banner that I want to use on my homepage. For my new banner, I'm going to go under CMS and then to Banners, and then click on Banners. I'm going to click Create at the top left-hand corner, and then from here, I'm going to name my banner. I'm going to choose my banner type, which should be image. I'm going to select image. I'm going to upload my new banner. And then I'm going to click Upload Image. Then I'm going to click Set Image. From here, I can enter an alternate text for the banner. I can enter in a heading for the banner. I can also enter in a subheading if I want to include one. I can do a forward URL, which I will now add. And then when you include a forward URL, you get the option to open in a new window, which would take the user to a new window on click, and add button, which I will choose to add a button. And then I'm going to include button text to show on that button. And then the text button alignment, which I'm going to utilize the right text button alignment. From here, this should be all you need to do to set up your banner. Once I'm done, I'll click Publish. And now I've created my own banner. I'm going to go back to the home page now by clicking Content Pages and then clicking Homepage. And now I'm going to click on the homepage hero banner and then click the gear icon again. And now I'm going to click Change Banners, and I can see the banner that I just created. So I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to choose Use Selected. So now you can see I have included my new banner in my homepage, and then I'm going to move this up to the top so it's the first to show. Once I'm done with this, I'm going to click Save. I've now set up my first banner, and I'm going to move down the home page. Now, in the featured category section, I can modify this by clicking the gear icon here, and then I can adjust my featured categories. To change or add additional categories, I'm going to click Change Categories here. And now I can add a different category to feature by clicking the little checkbox here, and then clicking Use Selected. And then, if I want to, I can also remove a category that I no longer want to feature, and then I can click Save. You can now see I now have a new featured category here at the bottom called Air. Moving down the page, you can see your Welcome Text WYSIWYG module, which to adjust this one, you can just go under WYSIWYG modules. But first, before I click there, I'm going to want to make sure that I publish all my changes that I have so far. Make sure that you're always publishing your changes before you leave the home page. Now that I've published the changes, I'll go to WYSIWYG modules. And here you can see the Welcome Text WYSIWYG. I'm going to click on this one. And you can see the welcome text that shows on the WYSIWYG. From here, I can make any adjustments or changes that I want to see on the website. And then all I have to do when I'm done is click Publish. Going back to the home page, down below the welcome text is Featured Products. To adjust Featured Products, I click the gear icon. Featured Products are set to display a random set of products by default. But if I want to select my own products that I want to feature, I click Select Products. From here, I can see all different types of products on the site. To make it easier to find the products that I want, I'm going to filter, and then I'm going to filter products that have the type of group, so I can find parent products to show. I click Filter, and now I have just the parent products to select, so I'm going to choose a few products to feature. Now that I've selected them, I'm going to click Use Selected, and you can see the products now appear, and then I'm going to click Save. I now am featuring my own products that I have specified in this section. Continuing down, the Shop by Manufacturer works in a very similar way. I'm going to click the gear icon, and by default, Shop by Manufacturer chooses a random set of manufacturers to feature. But I can click Select Brands if I want to choose my own, and then from here, I can select a few of my own brands that I'd like to feature. After I'm done selecting the brands, I'm going to click Use Selected. From here, I'm going to click Save, and now I'm featuring my own brands. The final section is the footer banners. These can be created in the same way that the hero banners are created. And to adjust them, I click the gear icon, and then I click Change Banners. From here, I'm going to change to 2 different banners. And then I'm going to click Use Selected. And to remove the 2 old banners, I'm going to click these X buttons. I'm going to adjust the sort order. And now I'm going to click Save. You can now see my 2 new banners being featured in the footer. And now that I'm done making changes on my site, I'm going to click the Publish button here. Now that everything's been saved, I'm going to click the View Record button. You can now see the changes that I've made on my site. Now that all these changes have been confirmed to be completed, I should be ready to go, and my changes should be finalized. Your site gets created with a few payment options already available. If you'd like to adjust the payment options, you first need to go into System, and then go into Payments. And then from there, click on Payment Methods. From here, you'll see the available payment options. The ones that most sites have starting out is call for credit card, check in advance, cash on delivery, and purchase order. Two of the additional optional payment methods that you can activate are PayPal and Authorize.net, which is a credit card processor. If you want to utilize PayPal or Authorize.net, what you need to do is you need to go into System and then go into Settings. And then from there, click on Payments. From there, you will see the opportunity to enter in the Authorize.net API login and the API transaction key, and a test one if you would like to include that as well. From there, you can click on Test Authorized Connection. If you'd like to find out about setting up an Authorize.net account, click the little check mark here in the top right-hand corner, which will show you information about signing up for Authorize.net. Now, if you want to set up PayPal, it's a very similar process where you will enter in your PayPal client ID, your client secret, your merchant ID, API URL should already be provided, your test PayPal client ID, and your test PayPal client secret, your test PayPal merchant ID, and your test PayPal API URL. The test ones are not required, so you don't have to worry about those if you only have the actual PayPal information. As I said with Authorize.net, if you want to find out about setting up an account with PayPal or Authorize.net, click on the little green check mark here, and it will take you to the documentation, and it will show you how to set up an account with these two. Now, once you have entered in your credentials, what you'll be able to do is under Payments, and then Payment Methods, you can go and then you can activate one of these processors. For example, I'm going to activate PayPal. First, I click on PayPal, and then in the top right-hand corner, I click the little right arrow, and then I click Publish. This will then publish the PayPal processor on my account and allow me to start taking PayPal transactions. If I ever want to deactivate one of the payment methods, all I have to do is click the little edit icon or click the name, and then clicking that little arrow on the right-hand corner, I have this option to save as inactive. This will then deactivate the payment methods. You could do this as many times as you like without issue. You have the opportunity to configure the payment methods however you like. Remember, the ones that are set up to work with your website are call for credit card, check in advance, cash on delivery, purchase order, PayPal, and credit card using Authorize.net. When changing your payment methods, you should make sure that they are working in checkout once you've done making your modifications. To test this out, I'm going to deactivate one of my payment methods. First, I'm going to click on the edit icon, and then in the right-hand corner over here, on this little drop-down, I'm going to click the arrow, and then I click Save as Inactive. I have now disabled Check in Advanced for my payment methods. So when I go to checkout, I expect to only see call for credit card, cash on delivery, and purchase order. To test this, I'm going to click on the Live Site button here, and now I'm on my site. I already have items in my cart, but if I didn't, I would make sure to add a couple items to my cart. Once you've done that, click on Cart. Once you get to the cart page, click Secure Checkout. Now from checkout, I'm going to click Continue after entering my address. Then I'm going to click Continue after selecting my shipping method. And now we're at the payment method step. As you can see, I only have the 3 active payment methods to utilize. From here, I can complete checkout utilizing one of those payment methods. And now we're done. Your welcome text paragraph appears on your home page. Here is the welcome text paragraph. If you want to adjust this, go into CMS and then WYSIWYG modules. There you will see welcome text. From here, you can adjust the welcome text however you like. This is a WYSIWYG module, so you have the ability to make different modifications using the tools provided. Now, the next text area that you may want to adjust is going to appear on the shopping cart page. Down here, you have these shopping cart support modules. These can be used to explain any of the information to the user to let them know if you're having any additional fees, information about shipping, or anything else that you might want to let the user know. These can be adjusted under the Menus section. From there, you're going to see Shopping Cart Support. Click on Manage Menu. From there, if you want to edit one of the pre-existing menus, find the menu one you want to edit and click Edit Record. From there, you'll be able to adjust the description and adjust the name and the display name. You also have the option to add your own. If you'd like to add an additional one to this, click the Create button and enter in your name, a display name if you'd prefer to use one. Make sure to set the menu item type to num and enter in a description. Once you've done that, make sure to hit Publish. And then, after a few minutes, you'll see the adjustment make the change on your storefront. Remember that these can take a few minutes to show, so they may not come up right away. The final area that you may want to adjust is in the checkout area. Once I get past the addresses section, I can click Continue. I can choose my shipping method and click Continue again. I can choose my payment option. And click Continue again. And then you will see I agree to terms and conditions with this little pop-up that opens up when you click Terms and Conditions. To adjust this pop-up, all you have to do is go back to the admin, click System, and then click on Settings, and then click on Orders. On this page, scroll down. You'll see Display Terms and Conditions option here, which I currently have activated, and then you will see the Terms and Conditions module text. From here, you can adjust this Terms and Conditions module to say whatever you would like. Once you're done, make sure to click Save. That will cover all of the different little text areas that you may want to adjust on your website. There are many ways to control who can purchase from your website and also how they order, as in if they're using quote or checkout. To control this, we're first going to go into System, Settings, and then Cart. The first setting is e-catalog only. What this will do will be to force requests for quote for users. This will be the only way that they will be able to check out. The users can still see pricing, but the checkout button will no longer be displayed to them. You also have the ability to control if request for quote is available. These settings are a little bit more in depth and appear lower on the page. Here you will see the request quote section under that same cart admin section. From there, you'll have the option to enable guest users to submit quote requests, enable registered users to submit quote requests, which would be any user that's logged in. You also have the ability to enable organization users to submit quote requests, and also to allow products without prices to be added to cart. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it off for guest, register, and organization users. Once I click Save, I will no longer be able to request a quote on this website. As you can see, all that remains is secure checkout. I'm going to turn these settings back on now so I can show you the final feature. The final feature appears under pricing. If you want to hide pricing from all users, what you'll want to do is enable is quote only. It will give you a little notification letting you know about what you would need to enable to allow is quote only. Click continue and click save. Once you've done this, all pricing will be hidden from the website, but the request for quote option will still remain. There are a variety of options for users to utilize on your website. First, we'll get started with the options that come straight from the storefront. First, I'm going to go to the storefront page, and I'm going to log out of my current account. For any of your returning users, they can follow these steps on the right-hand corner to reset their password. If they are a new user, what they should do is click on this Register as New User link down here at the bottom of the page. From here, all they need to do is enter their email, their first name, their last name, their password, and their password again. They also have the option to sign up for an email newsletter. And then they'll click register. It looks like I already have a user with this email, so I'm going to utilize a different email. From there, they're going to get an email to confirm their account. The email will look like this. All they have to do is click the Confirm Account button, and that will confirm their email. From there, all they need to do is log in for the first time. Now that they've logged in, they have a variety of features that they can use. They have orders. They have a buy again feature, which lets them buy products that they've already previously purchased. They have an address book where they can manage their addresses. They have save for later, save carts, lists, a settings section so they can adjust their settings, and a logout button. Now I'm going to switch to an account that has more details on these. Now you can see I'm logged into an account that has already placed a few orders. I'm going to click on the order section. Here I can see the orders that I've placed on the website. If I click on one of the orders, I can see details on the orders. I also have the option here to reorder all items. If I scroll down the screen here, we include most of the information about the order when they placed it. Buy Again section will show me products that I have previously purchased. From here, I can click Add to Cart to add the product to cart. Then I have my addresses section that shows all the addresses that I have on my account. I can also click Add New Address to add a new address. And then once I'm done adding it, I can click Save. Next, we have the Save for Later section. I currently don't have any items in my Save for Later, but I can go do Add One Now. To add an item to Save for Later, first you got to add an item to your cart. Then I'm going to go view my cart, and on the shopping cart page, there's my option to save for later. Now that I've saved the item for later, I'll see it here at the bottom of the shopping cart page, but I'll also see it in that My Account page as well. The next section is my saved carts. This will keep track of all the carts that I currently have open or have previously saved. The next section is lists. I don't have a list, so I'm going to create one now. There's multiple list options. The first is private, which means that only I can use this list. The next is public, which means that I can share this list with other people. And the last one is organization, which means that I can share this list with anybody in my organization. Now that I have this list, it's going to be empty starting off because I haven't added any items to it yet. I'm going to go add an item to my list now. To add an item to my list,
First, I must go to a product page, and then I can add a quantity and click Add to List. You can see I have my list here, my list of lists, and then click Example List. I've now successfully added an item to my list. I can click View List to view the list again. Now from here, you can see that the product appears that I just added to my list. If I want, or if I have multiple items, I can select items for cart, and then I can use these little checkboxes to add selected items to cart. And then once ready, I click Add Selected Items to Cart. This will then add the item to my cart. That covers our primary user features, but there are still more features to go. Next, we can utilize a tool that we call organizations. Organizations are like your customers. Let's say if I am a distributor and I sell a lot of product to one of my primary customers. Now, this is something that you have to do as a dealer when you're creating these users. Now, when a user gets created, you have the option to then add them to an organization. To create a new organization, you click the Create button here. You have to also make sure to provide a bill to. You have the option to specify if the user must enter in a purchase order number, allow the request for quotes for this organization, and if you want to disable them using personal addresses. To add a bill to, I must click Add New Address. Once I've filled it out, I click Save. Now I've added a bill to. Now I can also add users to this organization. Ship tos would be the next thing that I would add. I'm going to click Add Ship to. Now you can see that I filled out my ship to information. Ship tos will be able to be utilized from checkout and should be used if you have customer addresses on file that they frequently ship to make it easier for them to select it during checkout. Now that I've set out that organization, let's go through some of the features. In the organization section, the first tab you're going to see is quotes. This is going to list out any open quotes that this customer organization has. This helps making the user easier to manage their quotes and keep track of what quotes they currently have open. The next section is organization orders. This is a shared list of orders that every user assigned to this organization can see. This is very similar to the orders section that we talked about on the My Account, but instead of just being specific to this user, it's available to all users in this organization so everyone can see what everyone else is purchasing to keep track of orders. The next is organization pending orders. I currently don't have any pending orders, but what I can do is show you how a user would get a pending order. First, I'm going to go into the organization user section here. I'm going to click Add New User. This allows the users to fully manage themselves once they've been assigned to an organization. They can add their fellow colleagues and then set up different roles for them. In the roles option here, you'll see some of the default roles. One is order approver, one is super admin, and one is orders needs to be approved. The orders need to be approved means that this user has a certain spending limit. 0 means that every order they place has to be approved. 100 would mean that any order over $100 needs to be approved. And 1,000 would mean that any order over 1,000 needs to be approved. Now, obviously, this is just for an example. You can make this number whatever you want. Just remember, this is the dollar amount before the order needs to be approved. From there, all users that have the ability to approve orders will receive an email, or you can specify a specific approver. You can see that I am set up as an approver on this customer order, and so that I can select myself. We also have the ship tos option. If users only want to have access to certain ship tos, they can do that here, and they can select which ship tos the user has access to. Once this is done, they will click Save, and they will create this new user on their organization. The user will receive an email to set up their account and will be automatically assigned to the organization. So there's nothing else for the dealer to do from there. If you ever want to delete a user, there is this delete button over here on the right-hand side to delete a user from the organization. And also there is an edit button to edit the user in case you want to change any of the restrictions or change the spending limit. The last section I'm going to cover is the ship tos. Here is a list of the ship-tos that are on this organization. This list is not modifiable. This is only able to be edited by dealers, so dealers can control the ship-tos assigned to their customer account. And that covers the front-end features of users, but we're not done just yet. Now, using organizations for users, we have some capabilities within the platform that you might be able to utilize. For one, under users, we have segments. In segments, you can create a new segment, and this can be used to control multiple different areas. In users, you can assign a user to a segment. You can see I have my segment here that I created. Now that I'm assigned to a segment, let's talk about some of the capabilities that this has. First, we're going to start with products. You can restrict products based off a segment. So for example, I'm going to go into this product. Now this can only be done on products that I have created as a dealer. This does not apply to any of the SMO products, as those are managed by SMO. But you can create products and manage who can access them using the security feature down here. Now remember, I just created that segment, so let's go find it. Here it is. Now, this grant flag means that I have access to it. But if you wanted to say, everyone in my tenant has the ability to see all products, except for this user who is assigned to this segment, I can just disallow it. Or what's more common is that most users can access this product, but this specific user that I set up in a specific segment can access this product. Now, what's also nice is that if you don't want to utilize users in segments, if a user is assigned to an organization, it will show up here as well. As you can see, one of my example organizations is appearing. And so if I want to, I can assign a user to an organization and then assign them to specific products. Once you're done making these adjustments, don't forget to hit publish. Another useful way to utilize segments is by going into pricing rules. In pricing rules, I can create a pricing rule, and then I can give it a name. As we mentioned previously, in the pricing rules section, we have this rule type. And let's say, for example, I want to do a discount for this user by 5%. If I want to choose a specific type that I want to apply a discount to, I can do it in here as well. Or if I just leave that empty, this means that I'm just doing a 5% off of all products. Now, if I go into the segment section, very similar to the last time, I can open up this and see my test segment, which my user was assigned to. And this means that I am now getting this pricing rule. So now I have a 5% discount on all products. I can do the same with organizations as well. I can say that this org now has a 5% discount on all products. Don't forget to hit publish when you're done creating your pricing rule. Finally, there is one more aspect of users that would be very important to notice, and that is the newsletter signup. When users sign up on your website, they are all tracked in this newsletter signup section. These newsletters can be used for however you like. We suggest that once you have a decent amount of users, you export them by clicking this arrow and then clicking export and then export results. From there, you can select all the fields to include in the export, view the preview, and then submit for export. This will then create an export of all the newsletter signups that you have so that you can load it into your own marketing tool. From there, that is all the features for the users that will be useful for you guys to implement with your customers. Next, we're going to talk about how we can use the system settings search bar. This is something that becomes very, very helpful if you're looking for a specific setting, but you just can't find it. Let's say that I'm wondering, how do I make something request for quote only? Well, I could just use the search bar to access it. The search bar can be accessed from any page. So if I click on a different setting, I still have that same search bar that looks across all settings. You can see that this search bar will appear on any page, but the results will be the same.
There are other site features that you may be interested in using that we're going to go over quickly, but we suggest that you check our documentation to see how to set up these features. One of these features is our different shipping options. To get to the shipping options, go to Commerce and then click on Shipping, and then go to Shipping Methods. Here you'll see all the different shipping options that the website can provide. By default, you're set up with the best way shipping method, but you could also utilize our integration with Shipper HQ, or our integration with UPS, or our integration with FedEx. You also have the ability to create your own shipping method, and then by using a rate table, you can set up a charge rate that is either a percentage of a subtotal price or just a flat rate based off of the subtotal price. Please feel free to explore these options or set up one of the corresponding integrations that we have for shipping. We also have the capability to handle taxes. There's two ways to handle taxes currently. One of them is by setting up the tax rating engine utilizing Avalara, which you can reach by going to System, Settings, and then Tax. And you'll see the Avalara setup information so that you can set up your Avalara account. And then you just need to adjust your tax gateway to Avalara Tax Gateway. Or optionally, you can enter state-by-state tax rates by going to System, and then going to Locations, and then going to States. And then here, you can specify a tax amount per state utilizing the tax rate. Please be aware that these are set up as percentages. So you want to do it, if you want to say it's a 7% tax rate, you want to make sure it's a 0.07 tax rate. This will give a 7% tax rate for Michigan, for example. Additionally, we have support for newsletter signups. Your signups are managed under CMS, and then under User, and then Newsletter signup forms. From here, you'll see everyone that's enrolled in your newsletter. When you go to the front end of your website, you'll see the newsletter signup box here in the footer, as well as an option in checkout. I'm going to enter in an example email. And then from there, I will see this sign up appear in my newsletter sign up forms when I refresh the page. As you can see, I've now signed up for the newsletter. From here, you can then export all of your newsletter signups and then import them into your own marketing system so that you can send out newsletter emails. We also have support for social media links to be featured on your website. To set up your social media links, go to System, Settings, and then go down to Social. Here you'll be able to enter in your Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter, or YouTube URL. Make sure when you're entering in the URL that you're including the https:// and then the actual site name. If you do not put in the full URL in this section, then it is not going to redirect to the correct site. We also have multiple different reporting mechanisms that you can look at. To see your reports, go to Commerce, and then go down to Reports. From there, the first one you'll see is your revenue report, which gives you an overview of the revenue that you're currently generating on the website. The second one you're going to see is your total orders report, which will give you a breakdown of the total order number that you've taken on your site. The next one will be your top sellers, and we'll review the products that sell the best on your website. The next one will be your quotes pending report. This will show you an open total of the quotes that are pending on your website. And then the quotes completed report will show you a report of the number of quotes that you've completed, as well as the total revenue based off of those quotes that you've completed. There is also a feature to check open carts. To see carts, go to Commerce and then Carts. Here you'll see all the open carts on your website. This will show you what orders have been started but not actually finished. Once a user proceeds to checkout, we begin to collect their information. If you see anything with user information on it, you can then reach out to the customer with an abandoned cart email or possibly a promotion to let them know that you see that they have a cart pending but hasn't been submitted. So maybe if you want to try to entice them by sending them some kind of promotion, you can do that via email. These carts will include as much information as we have currently on the user, as well as what products have been added to the cart so far, so that you can see how the user has been shopping and if there is an opportunity for you to get them to check out.